is the Duffin Up Podcast.
What is going on, Duff Daddies and Duff Mamas? Today is Thursday, April 14th, and welcome to the Duffin Up Podcast. My name is Brendan Monroe. As always, we have Timmy the Chooch O'Reilly in the number 2 chair this week. Timmy the Chooch O'Reilly. He's officially been promoted. Timmy, how we doing tonight?
Big day. I'm doing good, Brendan. I know you are amped because your 5th major is coming up this week. Mm-hmm. His 5th major, that's for sure. He's down in Hilton Head just to see it. Duffin Up Podcast, people. The Duffin Up Podcast is being represented down at the PGA Tour event down in Hilton Head, the RBC Heritage. But before we do that, we got to introduce someone very special. Brendan, take it away.
We do. So I was about to go in on a tangent, but thank you for pulling me back on there, Timmy. Hashtag my 5th major. Can't wait to start that. I'm very excited about that. But so Michael unfortunately cannot make it this evening. Michael will inform you on why he can't make it when he does come back to the podcast. But we have a very, very special third guest. We have the first ever Duffin Up giveaway winner, who then became the first ever Duffin Up Podcast special host. We have Brian O'Reilly. Unfortunately, we do not have a fun nickname for Brian. Well, we do. His nickname is Ian, but we don't talk about that. But we have Brian O'Reilly on the podcast. Brian, how you doing tonight?
I am terrific. I just for the record, Brendan's the only one who calls me Ian ever. And
factual statement.
I've been called worse, so I don't mind it. It's just a hilarious thing. But I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me. And ready to get going.
Bry guy, it is amazing to have you. I'm very happy about this. I'm very happy that you could fill in for our friend Michael, who again, when he comes back to the podcast, he will tell you it's nothing bad. We did not have created differences. Don't worry.
Nothing bad.
We are not that big of a podcast to have creative differences.
It's kind of funny. I feel like this situation, I'm like a long-time listener, first-time caller kind of situation. And
like Felger and Maz right now, for those who are from Boston and listen.
Made a call to the bullpen, and you got a righty coming in relief for Mike. You just got flamed out on the mound. You got shelled. So bringing me in.
Oh, for anyone in the Boston area, we got Big Jim Murray in our 3rd seat right now. It's great. I love it. This is wonderful. I'm so happy. But
this is different this is way different because Mike's going to be listening to this for the first time.
He's going to be
so Michael. If you're listening to this, I hope you're don't want to give anything away, but hope everything is going well. I'm so happy for you, but can't give anything else away. But
exactly,
hello, Mike,
not our place. That's why we said it. But like we said, Mike will be returning in a short while. Until then, we will be having Brian fill in for him on at least this episode, maybe some more episodes. Maybe we'll have, other Duffin Up. Maybe we'll have other Duffin Up people coming in. Who knows? We're just gonna enjoy it while we can. This is great. But yes, on to the main course, the entree. And then we'll get to dessert a little bit later. Hashtag my 5th major. But on to the main course, the Masters. Oh, now here's the thing. We are going to, unfortunately, Michael's not here because Michael does have to eat a big old piece of crow cake because he went out on it and he said, never mind, Scottie won't win this week. I think Scottie won't win a major for a while. But Scottie Scheffler just decided, you know what, I'm going to keep my hot streak going. Instead of having 3 out of 5 victories, we're going to make it 4 out of 6. Then we're going to get a major and we're going to put on that beautiful, beautiful green jacket. And to be honest with you, it was never close. And that's the one thing that, people do judge, unfortunately, the Masters on. They usually judge it on how close it is, or if it's not how close, it's how dominant, from Jordan Spieth to Tiger back in the day. Like, it's usually one of the two where it's either, all right, this guy absolutely dominated the Masters, or this was amazing because of this finish and it was this. this was just kind of one of those in-betweeners where it just never got close, but it was never like too far out of the way where it was a coronation.
So Brendan, 100%. This is like the same thing we went through with Jon Rahm in the U.S. Open, number one player in the world. We all counted him out. We're like, no way. I mean, it's too good to be true. It's the number one player. There's no way the number one player is going to go out and win. You know, it's Augusta's special. We counted Scottie Scheffler out. Not one of us picked him. I don't even think one of us put him in our lineup.
No, well, he was $11,000, so that's why we didn't do that. But no, all of us were like, I think Mike was a straight miscut. Like I was shocked by that one. I was a he's going to play well, but he's not going to win.
True. And I was actually watching the Masters with Brian, and the only time I thought Scottie Scheffler was going to lose was after the first two holes when Cam Smith birdied the first two holes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh boy, this is going to be great. Cam Smith. I mean, I was rooting for Cam Smith for a while. I mean, he was my number one pick. And then when Scottie made that chip, that was one of those moments where you're like, oh, this might be that moment where he just won the Masters. And turns out, I mean, he never looked back.
It was over. It was over. As soon as that chip went in, it was over.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I forget who exactly said it, but they were talking about how he didn't play perfectly. He had a lot of rough shots, and he still somehow was able to close it out because he hit the shots when he needed to, and that chip in was just absolutely a dagger for Cam. And then lo and behold, hole number 12 struck Cam there at the end there, and as it does many. I wouldn't call it amen corner if they didn't. So, yeah, I mean, it was fun to watch. I think there were a lot of people kind of rooting against him. It's like just because they wanted it close towards the middle there. Or
yeah,
the end.
I don't think anyone rooted against Scottie because we don't like Scottie. Again, right. Everyone knows that I have a problem with Scottie Scheffler's swing, but like that's different. I think he's a really good guy, actually. I just hate how he like literally pulls himself back after he swings it. I'm like, his natural ball play is a fade anyways, but I'm like, how does that not just slice? Like, how does that not just power slice into the woods every time? Like, that's what I do. And I don't even pull that back. But
he's dancing all over the tee box and everything.
I was not rooting against him, but I completely agree with what you said, Brian. Like, and the biggest part was with that too, is Scottie had the harder chip between him and Cam on that third hole. Cam had it about 5 yards closer and just skied it. And you're just like, dude, just do exactly what Scottie just did. Like, that's all you got to do, man. Oh, it was just one of those things. Once that chip went in, I think I turned to my dad. I'm like, well, that's it. And like what you said, Tim, there was definitely times where Scottie did not play great. I mean, talk about 18. I mean, the 4-jack on 18 made us all feel amazing. I know that was like the Masters champ, just 4-jack.
One of us.
Oh man, I don't even remember the last. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I remember the last time I 4-jacked, and I was like, Jesus, like, did I really just do that? So I can imagine.
I mean, he was probably that whole time he's on the 18th green. He had a 5-6 shot lead.
Yeah,
and he's probably thinking like, I just got to keep a clean pair of underwear on rather than making this putt. I mean, all that pressure. I mean, he's a good guy. He keeps it calm. He's all that. I mean, but man, it really showed. I mean, he didn't get phased at all throughout the tournament. And then, I mean, on the 18th hole, I mean, it shows that even the most calm of calm can, just have a little kink. And luckily he played well enough previously to allow that kink to happen. And that's what makes a great player great.
I'm sure you both saw the Max Homa tweet afterwards. He should have just 6-putted just to say you could 6-putt and still win the Masters.
Yeah.
I laughed so hard on that one.
He's great on Twitter. Max Homa.
Homa's awesome. But the thing with Scottie too is like what you said. He kept it so like he was before he hit that chip in. He was joking with the fans, like basically. And I'm like, dude, you're only up by 1. Like, any other player right now, like they are in the zone and he's just like yakking it up, like hanging. I'm like, this is great. Like, this is what we need. like even for example, what you said with that, Brian, like Max Homa, like I don't think Max would have done that if he was only up by one. And like Max is one of the most laid back guys on tour. So like Scottie keeping it that way is great. I do really like Scottie. I just, again, when it's not super, super anticlimactic, when it's a blowout, but it's like close enough where we could almost have some drama, but we don't get it. That's just like, you watch the Masters for the drama, and it just wasn't at the top of the leaderboard. And that's
especially
why.
when you have like people like Rory like plunging up the leaderboard, and you're like, okay, now we want it. It could get interesting if he would just like take it off the gas pedal. we would love to see some kind of great finish there. Rory obviously didn't bogey a single hole at in the final round. The only person to do it in the field. So it was. I just wanted to see that, just because we obviously want to see. I don't want to keep skipping ahead on the topics, but it just the fact that it's just essentially we need that career Grand Slam. We want that out of Roars.
This is what happens when the co-hosts follow the show notes. They get it. No, I'm joking.
It's almost like you don't want like a person who's never won a major to win a major. Like he's not like your first priority rooting for him. Like the whole time I'm like, all right, we got to get a Rory playoff. This is going to be great. Rory's done it before. We got to keep that ball rolling with Rory, get him another major, get over that hump. But then now that Scottie has won that one major, I think I'm going to keep rooting for him. You know what I mean? Yeah. He has that one. He's broken the threshold. Now it's time to keep rolling Scottie. You know, let's get him more. I'm team Scottie now. I mean, come on.
Yeah. How can he not? I mean, he's just a pleasant guy. I just don't want it to be a one-hit wonder. That's the most heartbreaking.
No. Exactly.
Heartbreaking. Yeah. Like a Danny Willett. We don't want that. Like it's like keep winning, Scottie. I'm all for it. I don't want you to just get an invitation for life to the Masters dinner. Don't just do it for that. Do it for the rest of the majors. Come on now.
Oh God, the Danny Willett shade was alive and well like all week, especially because he was playing well. I was like,
he played really well.
He played really well. I think he finished either top 10 or top 20. And I'm sitting there just like, people are so mad at Danny Willett still to this day that he won the 2013 Masters.
How out of place do you think he feels at that Champions dinner?
Oh my God, are you kidding me? He's like him and trying to think who else is like, I mean, not Ian. So Ian Woosnam was an awesome player. He was just, Woosy's like a little guy. I don't really see, besides Matsuyama, who just won, Charles Schwartzel and Trevor Immelman both won green jackets. So I feel like they may be kind of like in that group. But Schwartzel played well this week. Like, it's just one of those things. So yeah, I mean, here's the biggest thing with this too, is it's like, we talked about it, Scottie, 4 out of 6 victories. Like, this is no longer like oh wow, this is kind of cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh wow, he's won like 2 out of 3. Like that's really interesting. Like, it's now 4 out of 6. Like, that is nuts.
That's a number. They had a stat that no one's ever won a WGC and a major and 2 other events in
a year.
In 1 year, besides Tiger. So these are some numbers. These are some real numbers. These are eye-opening, people. Scottie Scheffler, come on now. Oh. In case he's not in your lineup now, put him in. He's not playing this week.
So expensive.
Expensive.
Man. But yeah, I mean, it's such a great win for him. And, I know Brian Carter already touched on the topic, but we've got what Rory did in the last round was pretty impressive.
Yes. Rory.
Mr. McAlally, as Ian Poulter, your boy Ian Poulter would call him.
Oh,
Rory McAlally.
Rory McAlally.
Yeah.
It's just boo Ian Poulter. Get out of here with that. He's here this weekend too, and I hate him, so I'm just gonna boo him.
Imagine Imagine he did a backdoor Masters playoff into a playoff with a victory, taking nothing away from Scottie, but wow, what a story that would have been. Just backdoor. I mean, even with his finish on the 72nd hole, incredible. And then, of course, if you guys did not watch, him and Morikawa, who were playing in the same group on the 72nd hole come Sunday, Rory hits a bunker shot, drains it, goes nuts, does a dance in the bunker, an awkward dance, and then Morikawa answers with another chip in from the bunker of his own. It was absolutely diabolically awesome. I mean, the crowd was going nuts. Besides, like, the winner doing something awesome, I mean, it was definitely one of the better Masters moments there was.
Oh, absolutely. Like, going in, the course record is 63. It's been done by Nick Price. And I can't even remember who the other, it might've been Tiger. But it was done by Nick Price, I think in like 94. And then I think Tiger did it in sometime in the 2000s. But anyways, being able to see that, like, everyone's counting out Rory, because you know what? This is the one major where Rory always disappoints. Is it not? Rory has always disappointed at the Masters. Everyone every year is just like, here comes Rory, here comes Rory. And, he finally does it. He finally has his Sunday masterpiece at the Masters, and he's still 3 shots short.
And Brendo, why does he do that? Why does he always struggle?
I don't know.
It's that one round. He has that one round.
That is true.
Mid 70s.
That is true. He does have that mid 70s round. And, you're sitting there and you're just like, come on, dude, like, you got this. Like, we need you to do this, Rory. You need to just complete the slam, because there's so many other guys. Like, you never know when it's going to happen again. Just do it one time for us. And I think this is the closest we're going to get for a while, or maybe not a while, but this is the closest he's got right now. Rory may end up being a Greg Norman, where, boy, he can win every other event known to man, but the Masters is just his bogey.
What do you think's more likely, Scottie winning or winning again next year, or Rory winning next year?
I'm gonna say Rory, because Rory is Scottie Scheffler is the world number one golfer right now, everything like that. I have heard from multiple different people who have played with PGA Tour pros, and they all say that when Rory is on his game, he is by far the best player in the world. When he's playing, when he's playing how he played basically on Sunday, you can't stop him. It's over. You could say that a lot about, I guess, a lot of different players, you know what I mean? But especially Rory, they're just he's the best player in the world. When he's on, he's by far and away the best player in the world.
True.
What do you think it is? A mental thing? You think it's just the yips?
I'm hoping that this kind of got Rory out of the mental thing. Because he had never had a good Sunday at the Masters. He never had a truly good Sunday at the Masters, and he was 1 stroke off the course record. So I think this could be it. Watching him and Morikawa both hole out at 18 was so cool. But we do need to talk about how Jim Nantz and Nick Faldo ruined it.
Blew it.
Ruined the call. How do you do that?
So for those of you who don't know, for those of you who don't know, they pan away after Rory hits a shot, and then they come back to the hole, and Morikawa is about to hit, and Jim Nantz, what did he say?
No. So the original one was let go too, because it was Scottie Scheffler and Cam Smith putting, and you hear a roar.
Right.
You hear a crazy roar, and Nick Faldo just goes, well, we just missed something absolutely incredible, and I don't want to give it away.
Give it away.
And I was like, no, you cut right now. They're watching their ball. Cam Smith's caddy is washing his golf ball right now. You cut away. You go immediately.
If it's Tiger, I'd still want to watch them wash his ball. But anyone else, let's pan over to the 18th, I agree.
I 100% agree. And then, same thing with Morikawa. They basically gave that one away too. You're just kind of sitting there. And you're just like, guys, you've been doing this for how long? Like Nick Faldo has been on the broadcast for at least 10 to 15 years by now. And you gave that away. Like you gave the best shot in Rory McIlroy Masters history. And you gave it away.
Give it away.
How dare you, sir? How dare you?
Rory said that was the happiest he's felt on a golf course ever. Like that, he said that was the most joyous and the most fun, like thrill that he's had on a golf course, which could be just a statement, because you can't really, I guess you can't really measure that. You can't necessarily
like a recency bias thing.
Yeah, right. Like I mean, you can't be like, no way, you felt happier at this time. Like it's like something to keep him relevant and kind of keep the story going. But
yeah,
he was pretty happy. He had a pretty tough celebration there, though. It was, it was genuine because he was kind of doing something along those lines, and he threw the club, and yeah, I mean, that's when you know it's genuine.
Yeah,
pretty great.
Yeah.
Completely agree on that side. So very happy I'm really happy for Rory, because now I feel like, Southern Hills, watch out for him. I mean, I guess watch out for Scottie Scheffler too, because he can make it. By that time, he may have racked up, 2 to 3 more wins, for Christ's sakes. It would be nuts. But we do have, very, very happy for Rory, happy for Morikawa getting another top 5 in a major. He's a monster. He's an absolute monster. Unfortunately, we do have to talk about Cam Smith. Kind of just,
Cameron.
And the worst part is that the man who tied with him, Shane Lowry, had a great day. So it was like literally just like the two guys. It was like Shane Lowry coming up, having a great day out there on the course, and then Cam Smith just breaking everyone's heart.
Yep. Cam Smith did. I mean, Shane Lowry did have a nice day. I love his emotion on the course. And that 10th hole where he chipped in on one of the hardest holes on the course, chipped in over a bunker. That was incredible. But you're right. They kind of just evened out right to the playing field.
Unfortunate. And then, you got Willie Z.
Did not win.
You got lucky there. You got lucky there, Tim. You got lucky. Another top 10 in a major, though. That's like 3 out of his last 3.
Cam Smith will be back.
I completely agree with Cam Smith. He may win this week. He loves it here. He plays very well here at Harbour Town. Then we also got Willie Z and Corey Connors both with a T6 to wrap out kind of the top 5-ish. Great for Corey Connors is becoming basically a staple in the top 10 at the Masters now. Done it, I believe, 4 straight years.
Wow.
That's a guy you got to keep watching, man. I know he's won at San Antonio. I think he's really going to make a huge name for himself.
Corey Connors, baby.
And before we get into probably the topic that may take the longest because of all of us, we do have to talk about the enormous names that missed the cut this year. Like this is it happens a lot at the Masters, but I don't remember a Masters that had this many big names get cut. Because we had
wrap them off. Give me them all.
We had RIP and peace, Jordan. Oh my God, Jordan Spieth again melting down at Amen Corner and on the 18th hole. We had Xander Schauffele. Horrible second round. Come on, Xander, you're my boy. Brooks played terribly. Bryson, who we'll get into, who broke his hand basically all over again. And of course, like we had Sandy Lyle and Larry Mize miss the cut again. That's just so sad. No, I'm kidding. But just so many guys added, just like, I won't even say out of nowhere, because like obviously they didn't play well, but pretty big names. Sam Burns is a huge name.
Abe Answer.
Abe Answer missed the cut. You got some other Louis Oosthuizen withdrawing.
Louis.
Oh, Louis getting hurt and having to withdraw was so sad. I just think this was, you got like other guys who like are really good, guys like Gary Woodland, Ryan Palmer is usually a pretty steady Eddie guy. Zach Johnson, future Ryder Cup captain, missed it, and he usually plays not lights out at Augusta, but makes the cut almost pretty much every time. Was just like a very interesting group who did not make the cut this year.
I agree. Great to see Cam Champ up there. Do like seeing Cam Champ up there. It's. I mean, any week is, what do they say? I don't know. It just goes to show, no matter how good you are, you can miss the cut. I mean, we got a lot of people. Brian Harmon, I can't believe he missed the cut. Plays, but Charles Schwartzel up there. I love seeing Charles Schwartzel up there. Not making the cut, and but yeah, it's tough to spend too much time on people who didn't make the cut. But you're right, like it's very surprising.
Yep. So now on to. So I know we said like the main course is Scottie Scheffler, but I think we all need to be honest. I think we need to be honest with ourselves. The main course of this entire tournament was watching Tiger Woods not only play in the Masters, but make the cut. It was unbelievable to watch. I am so happy that we got 4 days of Tiger again. Now I do want him to go into a cryo chamber and just stay there for 2 months before he comes back to the US Open. He can skip the PGA. It's okay with me.
Stay until Brookline. Yes.
Wait until, because I will be there and I just want to see him.
So I was saying earlier, are there any rules against having fans carry Tiger from hole to hole? Like, what are there any rules? Like, if the biggest issue is just all about how he can't walk and he can't walk for 72 holes, why are we not having fans carry him? Piggyback. I'll give him a piggyback if I'm there.
I think we would then fall under a golf cart though, and golf carts aren't allowed.
Interest. Yeah, I mean, what do the rules say? Because I don't
gotta look that up.
Fantastic.
We're gonna look that up.
Fantastic question.
I mean, I don't think I could carry him, but I would if I could.
Yeah. And TPC Scottsdale, he had help from the fans move that giant boulder.
That was my first thought. That was my first thought. Is fans help all the time in that sense.
Yes,
he did.
So you're absolutely correct. That's a good idea. Brian, you might be onto something. Fantastic question.
I mean, count me in. I might need some help carrying him. But
you're not wrong.
I mean,
and here's the thing. It doesn't matter. It does not matter that he didn't play well on the weekend, because he played disastrously on the weekend. And we can all agree, because he wasn't as healthy as he should. He wasn't healthy. It's okay. It happens. It's not the end of the world. But he got there, and that's all that matters. And the crowd, it was like no one else was at the Masters when he was playing. The crowd around him was insane, and I loved every living second of it. Oh
yeah, he was loving it. He was smiling. I've never seen him smile. He said thank you to one of the patrons when he said good shot. Like that's not classic Tiger. I mean, I think maybe he's kind of he's flirted with a career-ending injury, with potential ruining his life, and I think he's come to and really now appreciates the little things, and the little things being us, the fans.
Like, we need to talk about that more. He almost had, like, never mind just like career-ending injury, that could be anything. He almost had his leg amputated. He literally had the Alex Smith basically reconstructed of the leg. It's why he wears, if you see him in shorts when he's practicing, he wears the leg sleeve, because he needs the leg sleeve to keep all the stuff in place. Like, that's how bad the injury was. And he just played 72 holes on that. Like, people are talking about it, that like they're kind of down. Some people are downplaying it. Not many like true. I feel like in the PGA circle are doing that, but I feel like other sports fans are just like, oh, he walked 72 holes. Who cares? The dude almost had his leg amputated. Like, we seriously need to like consider what really happened there. And it is, again, it was his fault he got into the accident. I can say that. It's okay. Allegedly, not great things were going on. But golf still needs either Tiger or Phil to truly move the needle. And those guys move the needle like crazy. For a bit, Bryson was kind of taking that over, but he just, we'll talk about him in a second. Like he's fallen off. Brooks Koepka was that guy. He's fallen off. Jordan Spieth doesn't have the personality to do it. Justin Thomas could do it, but he's gotten in trouble of things that he said. Rory's not unfortunately, Rory's not American, so he doesn't really move it on the American side, which is itself not great because Rory's unbelievable golfer. There's not many guys who can move the needle just by being themselves, and Tiger is that dude.
Yeah. I mean, Brendan, like it's almost like now people are realizing that. I mean, you see the crowds around him. They don't know if they're ever going to see Tiger again. I mean, there is a pattern to his life. I mean, and there's only so many comebacks, and God forbid something else happens. I mean, every round is almost like you have to appreciate it like it's his last round and how good of a feeling was it looking at the end of day one, seeing him at 1 under at the top of the leaderboard, like, within the top 10. I think he was T11. Something like that.
He was right around there, I think. Yeah, T11 or T12. Yep.
I mean, just it's almost like time when we went back in time and we're like,
time froze.
Feel the dreams, baby. I mean, I equate it to going to the Jimmy Buffett concert every year. You're like, this may be the last time we watch Jimmy Buffett live. It's
right.
Like,
to be fair, last year may have been the last time we watched Jimmy Buffett live.
Yeah, before he croaks. God, he puts on a good show, but you can't take it for granted. You can't take watching Tiger for granted live. It's insane.
And it's one of those things where, you got to see Arnie on the Champions Tour forever because Arnie's just that. He was just that guy. Like he was an entertainer. Tiger is going to be more of the Jack Nicklaus type where he's like, I'm done when I'm done and I'm not coming back. Like I am solid. He has more money than God. He's got this beautiful house in Jupiter. He can go out and play Seminole every day, and then he can go and if Charlie needs a caddy, he'll go and caddy for Charlie when he needs him.
I was gonna say he's got to pass it on to Charlie. He's got to spend time doing that. He's got to build that the Woods legacy.
So it is, and he admitted it. I know you guys watched it at the end. He's like, I will never play a full PGA Tour schedule again. I won't be in the FedEx Cup. Like that's I'm playing these events because I've won them. So like he basically came out and said that he's only gonna really play the big tournaments, and I'm fine. I'm good with that, guys. 100% okay with that. So happy to see him. Was a bummer that Phil wasn't there, but at the same time, I think the world agreed after all the Saudi stuff, Phil needed a break from the Masters this year.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah. And then, speaking of people who are hurt, we do have the Bryson injury as well, which is highly, highly, highly unfortunate. Again, I think all of us are not the biggest Bryson fans. I think Bryson is great. Like I think a lot of kids in the younger generation see Bryson as we probably saw like Phil. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
really good, but you either love him or you hate him, and there's no in between. And then Phil obviously grew on, or maybe he's more Sergio. Like I think he's more of a Sergio type, to be honest with. Like he could be the American Sergio Garcia, where he is just so polarizing. You either love him or hate him. Like there's literally no in between. Maybe as he grows older, we'll get a little bit more off him, but he shouldn't have even played. He should not have. He wasn't ready. He re-injured his hand, so now he's going to be out even longer. Like he's definitely out of the PGA. He's probably out of the U.S. Open. Like guys, when we get injured, we gotta bring it in. We gotta take it down. And we got to be like, we're injured. We can't play.
R&R, baby. Rest and relaxation.
And like I said, like the PGA Tour needs they need Bryson. They need Bryson. They absolutely need him. in order to do well.
Yeah,
So if you need a guy, you need to go to him and be like, hey, you're hurt. Don't play.
I could go without. I could definitely go without. But no, I agree.
He does bring, like, and I don't really like him that much, but he moves the needle.
I agree.
He either moves the
similar
needle
to
in
like
the love direction or the hate direction, but he moves it.
Minus the success. It kind of reminds me of like the Ricky Fowler when he was coming up. He was bringing in the younger like new golf fans, where you're like, you got the orange caps. You used to see it all over the course. Be like, that's a Ricky fan. And now I think, I mean, obviously Bryson is much more successful, and a totally different golfer. But it just kind of reminds me of that, where it's got that draw to bring people into being golf fans in that sense. So I don't know. I just feel like that's kind of how I picture him. Other than my other frustrations with Bryson, but I gotta give it to him. He's a good golfer, as weird as he is, and controversial as he can come.
So I know what you just said, but here's the thing as well. Bryson's not that much more accomplished than Ricky was.
Yeah.
Like Ricky has 5 PGA Tour victories, right? Bryson, I believe, do not quote me, but I think he's at 9, and he has a major. Now he's 5 years younger. He has 8 PGA Tour victories and a major. Okay. Ricky Fowler has 5 PGA Tour victories and no majors. The only thing I will say is with Ricky Fowler, he does have pretty much the grand slam of second places in majors. He's got a second. He's got second in the Masters, a second in the US Open, a second in the Open, and a third at the PGA Championship.
He's got some deep pockets, at least in that sense.
Oh, yeah. And that's why I don't really think Ricky cares what other people think anymore.
And professional motocross too. He's got that on his resume. Put that up there.
But you know, with Bryson on that side, like I do think he came back too early. I think he would even admit he came back too early. He's just not going to live down what he said 2 years ago after he won the US Open, when the Masters was in November, about how the course is a par 67, and he's not going to live that down for a while. Like, especially when you go out and shoot an 80 on Friday, and that's the one part about Bryson that like personally puts me off, is that like there's a fine line between confidence and cocky. And he, like, after that US Open victory, it was cocky. It was, I'm the man.
Par 67 comment? That's what's haunting him for life?
Yep. It is. And the crazy stat is, out of the last 10 rounds he's had at Augusta, so he has had 10 rounds at Augusta since he said that. He's been over par in 7 of them. He has never come close to a 67.
Yeah.
They should score him like
oh god, yeah,
par
plus
for him
5
is actually 67.
Oh, yeah.
It goes to Bobby Jones. Just cursed him as soon as those words came out of his mouth. I love it.
Ike Eisenhower is rolling over in his grave saying, yeah, we're not letting him succeed. Where do you think Bryson, his highest world golf ranking is compared to Ricky Fowler? So what do you think both of their world golf rankings highest ranking was?
Bryson, I would say 4.
Yep.
Ricky's 2. I think Ricky was number 2 in the world at one point, wasn't he?
Ricky is also, his highest ranking was 4. So both of them are only as high as 4.
Wow.
Interesting. So it's a great comparison.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Not as factually based as it's you guys are making it sound. I totally was just getting the vibes, going off of vibes and like popularity and what they bring. But
also very, not similar in the game, but very similar, maybe not statistics, because Ricky was never a big hitter, but like very PGA Tour victories, what they got to, everything like that. Like, now I don't think Bryson is going to go back, have the unfortunate events that Ricky had, where he just went down to, 130th in the world at one point. But I do think Ricky, I do think the Bryson stuff is gonna hurt him for a bit.
Yeah, like I said, I could go without.
Yes,
It's Ricky's time to get to number 3 in the world.
Imagine that. Oh,
That would be
I'd love
awesome.
for Ricky to come back, but unfortunately, we'll see. Could start this week at the RBC. That'd be great.
He is starting, right?
He's here. He is here.
Wow. He'd be a nice follow. Not a lot of people around him. You could follow him for a day. That wouldn't be bad.
Allison Stock will probably be there too. That wouldn't be too bad.
Not too shabby.
His wife. Oh, unreal. All right, Timbo. So you had some. I know you have some questions that you were dying to ask us for some little Masters quiz. So let's do it.
All right. So you guys are going to get a point if you get this correctly. The first two are just a warm up. But then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. Okay. There are 4 players ranked 1 through 4 as to each category, and you'll see what I mean when I say it. If you guys get one of these 4 players, guess one of these 4 players, you will get a point. At the end of the 5 questions, the person with the most points wins. Just a little friendly match here.
Mm-hmm.
So the first 2 questions, there's only one answer. So it's just these 2 are just for fun. What was throughout the week the toughest hole at Augusta National this week?
11.
Number 1.
The toughest hole this week, Brendan, you are correct. So Brendan would have gotten a point if these first 2 questions counted. Then the second warm-up question, what was the easiest hole at Augusta National this week?
8. No, not 8. What's the first? Nope, not 2 either.
16.
13?
Brian?
16, I'm thinking. That's part 3, right?
Correct. The easiest hole, Brendan, you are almost correct. It's usually the 13th, but this week it was actually the second hole. Second hole was the easiest hole.
Did they move the tees up?
I don't think so. I think they did on 15. They moved them back, but
yeah.
All right. So here we go. Starting off,
Isn't going well.
there are 3 players in this category ranked 1, 2, and 3. Who had the most birdies of the week?
Most birdies.
You can do it's the first, second, and third. So you just have to guess one of these players.
It's like kind of like a Family Feud style kind of.
Yep.
Sun JM.
Most birdies this week.
Okay. I've got, a Scottie Scheffler. It has to be.
Okay. Brian?
I want to say Sung JM or Cam Smith, but
We need one.
I'm going to go with Sung JM.
Should have stuck with Cam Smith. Brendan, you get a point there. The person who has the most birdies is Cameron Smith. Second is Scottie Scheffler with 21. Third is Will Zalatoris, 19.
How you feeling about that one, Timbo?
No W next to his name. No green jacket on his shoulders. All right. This next one is a little different. It's not usually the best player. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 people on this list. They all have 82%. They hit the fairway 82% of the time. Who is on this list for driving accuracy? They hit the fairway 82% of the time. Think of your good drivers. They don't necessarily hit it long. One of those things.
Mm-hmm.
No looking it up, Brendan.
I'm not. I've got the show notes up. I like I usually would say JT, but he had a really bad week this week on driving. Cam Smith usually almost always puts it in the fairway, so I'm gonna go Cam Smith.
Okay.
I am gonna go with I'd just go with Sung JM.
JM, neither of you get a point on this one. Driving accuracy, this one's the toughest one. Driving accuracy, Shane Lowry, actually, Kevin Na, Jason Kokrak, and Lucas Glover.
Oh, get out of here, Jason Kokrak. You're so
love
annoying.
Kokrak. You love him.
He's so annoying.
You love him. Saudi guy.
Saudi, get out of here.
Let's
So
go.
after 2 questions, Brendan still leads 1-0. The third question, we have 3 players up on the board, 1, 2, and 3. Who has the most driving distance this week at the Masters? The longest driving average of anyone on this Masters.
Cameron Champ.
Okay, Brendan?
So I would usually say Wilco Nienaber, but he did not play this week because he hits the ball like 380, which is
Who the hell?
Exactly. Exactly.
Who the hell?
I am gonna go with Cameron Davis from Australia.
Also, who the hell?
They pulled that one.
I did.
That one's great. I love that name. All right. Number 1, Rory McIlroy. 3.
I was gonna guess that.
That's surprising.
Number 2.
Oh no, I know who I should have said. Damn it. Tony
Number
Finau's
2.
up there, isn't he?
Cameron Champ. Brian gets a point.
Good job.
Him and Finau were fun to watch. That pairing. They were just hitting miles.
Wild.
Who was number 3?
Number 3 is very surprising. No, I never would have gotten this. Tommy Fleetwood.
Tommy Fleetwood doesn't hit the ball far. What?
No, I don't know how he's up there.
The British Chris Adams, Tommy Fleetwood.
That's right.
Maybe Chris Adams is the American Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah,
that's true. Who's older? All right, this next one. All right, so it's 1-1 after 3 questions. We got 2 questions left. Greens in regulation. We got 4 players atop the leaderboard at just around 70%. Who hits the greens? Who's the guy who is getting GIRs?
Cameron Smith. He had the most birdies.
I'm gonna go Sung Jae Im.
Surprisingly, none of you guys got a point.
Thank God. Thank God.
We got number 1, Kevin Na. Number 2, Rory McIlroy. Number 3, Kevin Champ. I think they meant to put Cameron Champ. And then number 4 is Sergio. Master Champion Sergio Garcia.
Kevin Na had some great freaking stats this week. Jesus. What did he finish? Like tied for 30th though?
He made the cut. And he's going to the Saudi League.
How many times did Rory chip in? If he had the most birdies in the not top.
No, Roy didn't chip in.
No, it'd be like if he had the most birdies, but not
Cam Smith. How many times did Cam Smith chip in? Most birdies, but not the most GIRs. Jesus.
Right, yeah.
Oh, you can have GIRs and make pars all day.
That's true. I didn't want to hear that. Anyways, continue. Last question.
Right. Last question. 1-1. For those of you who are listening, it is down to the final buzzer. We got. This is one. This one could be anyone. Who had the least amount of putts the entire Master Tournament 2022?
Rory McIlroy. Boom.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Do it.
No, I want to give myself a shot.
Do it.
I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna go with Cam Smith.
Oh, you guys ended a tie.
How?
No one.
If it's Sung Jae Im, so help me God.
No. Imagine. Justin Thomas had the least amount of putts, 107. And someone we didn't talk about, shout out to Minwoo Lee, played very well.
He did.
Love that guy.
He did.
Yeah.
And his sister Minjin Lee, she's nasty on the LPGA tour too.
I did not know that. Shane Lowry, 3rd, and Will Zalatoris, 4th. So that's
how's that one? How's that feel again, Tim?
Yeah.
Getting ready.
So that's all we got for the Masters, you know?
I cannot wait. Oh, Tim, we're gonna bake you a crow cake when Will Zalatoris finally
Brian, you know
wins.
the story about Will Zalatoris?
Yeah. I've listened to all the pods. Just
tell it again because I got to go grab something real quick. For all of our new listeners, tell it again.
Yeah, Tim, refresh us all on it.
My prediction. This is may catch some slack for this, but nothing against the guy. He is a great golfer. But my prediction stated a few months ago is that Will Zalatoris, young stud, looks like Happy Gilmore's first caddy, will not win a PGA Tour event. Will not. Nothing against him.
So not just a major. And meanwhile, can we say this was after he went tied for 5th in the US Open and then 2nd or 3rd in the Masters. Timbo comes over the top and it's just like, oh, by the way, never gonna win. What?
Never. So that's all that's going on here. Good game. Thanks for playing, you two.
Well, thank you for those questions, Tim.
Thanks for having
We are
me.
going to keep this part as short and as sweet as we can, but we do have this week we have hashtag my 5th major, the 5th best golf tournament in all the land. Don't you dare ever talk about the Dell match play on this ever again. Gross. Don't you ever bring up the players. Gross. We are
Hillshire
talking
Farms?
about
What about the Hillshire Farms?
the Sanderson Farms. Gross.
Farm. Oh, go meats.
Hillshire Farms.
Go meats.
The meat classic.
Oh, Jesus. What's it called? All of them. Oh, the Wyndham. Get out of here, Wyndham Resorts. No one cares about you. We have the RBC Heritage. We are on Hilton Head Island. We have boots on the ground. I was there today at the Pro-Am. It's still the funniest thing in the world to watch a PGA Tour player play with 4 absolute duffers and just be like, great. Yeah, good job, guys. It's unbelievable watching it. And they spend so much money. They spend so much money to play in these Pro-Ams. Oh, it's unbelievable.
It's nice having Brendan down there. Our little ambassador, Duffin up ambassador down there. It feels like, I appreciate you going down there every day, every year, and makes me feel like I'm a part of it. So it's definitely as much slack as I give you for loving it and loving Harbor Town. Because you love Harbor Town and because you are there, it makes me like pay attention that much more. And it's it's growing on me. I like it. I like this.
I agree. You're like the Duffin up Dottie Peppers.
Yeah.
Can we go with like the Duffin up Colt Nost at least?
No, you're Dottie. You're for sure Dottie.
Oh God, that means I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. Damn it! No, I'm kidding. No, I mean, so and not only is it growing on you, Tim, it's growing on the PGA as a whole. I think this tournament is starting to get like a lot more, I wouldn't say respect, but like obviously it's the week after a major. You look around at the week after majors, tournaments are usually dead. Like there's no one there. This week we have 5 out of the top 10 players. We have Jordan's, and then we also have guys like Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, Ricky Fowler never came to this tournament before. They would never come because they would go do the spring break boys. If you guys remember when they were younger, now they're older. They have a family. Now they're like, hey, Hilton Head Island is a pretty great place to bring the family to. It's a great event. We got Graham McDowell as one of the biggest ambassadors for the tournament. Stuart Sink won last year as part of his amazing comeback, like after winning the Fortinet, and then he in California comes over here, wins the RBC Heritage. It's a great event. It's unbelievable event. The course is amazing. It's a Pete Dye masterpiece. Everyone talks about how fantastic Kiowa was. And Kiowa is Pete Dye's truly one of his last courses and truly like his magnum opus. Before that, everyone said Harbor Town is Pete Dye's greatest course. It is narrow. It is very tough to play. And then you have the 18th hole, which is the widest fairway on tour, but it's just a little landing spot. And if you go too far, you're going into the water. And it's one of the most picturesque, I got to say that correctly, picturesque 18th holes in all of golf.
Well said. Well said.
And
cool
Brian, I know the last time you were down in Hilton Head, you did not play Harbor Town because it is wildly expensive to try and play.
Yeah,
but
I'm not in that tax bracket.
Hilton Head is a golf haven on the East Coast. It is I would say one of the best. If you can book a vacation down here, it's one of the best golf hubs on the entire East Coast. You know, I won't put it up there with Florida just because of how, but like it's very much on par with a lot of those, courses down there. They're beautiful here. It's smaller, so you don't have to, go to Ponte Vedra and then drive down to Daytona and then go all over the place and go to Orlando. Like the little 20-mile island, baby. We got amazing courses here.
Love it.
You get paid. You get paid for this. You get a little bonus for plugging.
RBC Heritage, give me some free
Carolinas.
tickets. Time will you do?
Carolina, always on your mind.
It's always on my mind. That is true.
Very nice.
Oh, geez, we gotta bring up another Boston boy. I do love it. Oh, unreal.
So,
but
Brendan, who do you think's going to do well this week? Speaking of Harbor Town,
we've already gotten into well. And that brings us to our daily fantasy lineups. Good job, Tim. You can't let me go anymore. You can't let me go down the tangent anymore. I do like it. We're going to do nice little...
You break it down. You always say it's a plotting course. I remember
it's a plotter's course. But it's weird because it's a plotter's course. But Kevin Kisner has not made the cut here since 2018. And Kevin Kisner is the ultimate plotter. But the last two winners, you would think, big plot. Big can hit the ball pretty far, but plotter. The winner before that, Webb Simpson.
Yep.
The PGA Tour's ultimate plotter. He also has the personality of a jar of Duke's mayonnaise, but we don't talk about that.
It's unfortunate. Great name. Absolutely great
unbelievable name. Unbelievable name.
Marketable, but that's tough. That's real.
Yeah. Hey, he should. You know who he should be the the sponsor of, the main person for?
World Wide Web?
No.
Pretty broad. What are you gonna say?
Duke's mayonnaise.
Or Bush's baked beans. Dog's eggs.
Before that, 2019, it was CT Pan. CT Pan, well-known plotter. And in second place, it was Hoochie Coochie. Hoochie Coochie is, it's a plotter's paradise. It is. You have to correctly pick exactly where you're going to hit your shot on every hole. And if you don't correctly pick it, you're in the weeds. Like, it is a lot like, and that's a Pete Dye specialty right there. Like, exactly how Kiowa was. Like, if you hit the landing spot, you're great. If you're anywhere outside the landing spot, it's a tough second shot. It's exactly like here.
You have Matt Kuchar in your lineup this week?
Sure don't. I probably should have, though, because Hoochie Coochie did very well for me at the Texas Open. Very, very well for me at the Texas Open.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's a Skechers guy. It's kind of tough to...
He's RBC, he's Skechers, he's all the above. He's all the above. Would you guys like me to go first for our daily fantasy lineup?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And as always, ladies and gentlemen, the daily fantasy lineup is sponsored by nobody. When you decide to finally sponsor us, we will switch over to your daily fantasy platform. But until now, we play on an undisclosed daily fantasy platform that Mike has maybe once or twice mentioned.
Is there anyone out there? Anyone?
Anyone, please.
Season 3 now. Come on now.
Oh.
It's sponsored by our own wallets.
I apologize. I'm just going through the names of everyone that's won here over the past couple of years, and it's, Wesley Bryan 2017. Guess who came in second place in 2017? Before we get into this,
Ricky Fowler.
Alex
young Timbo's favorite golfer, Luke Donald. The
Really?
reason why Timmy O'Reilly plays Mizuno's Luke Donald.
Neil Patrick Harris on the tour.
Basically.
He was a plotter. He was an iron plotter.
Oh, for sure. Again, Jim Furyk won in 2015. 2016, Brandon Grace. It is chugga, 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 plot, plot.
But it wasn't as big of a tournament as it is now. Like now, it's like you said, it's getting even bigger, even bigger. You have 5 out of the top 10. I mean, it's growing. It's growing.
It is.
We're gonna see some big names up there.
And Dustin Johnson comes every year because it's his title sponsor, and also he's from South Carolina, so he kind of has to be here. Kevin Kisner's always here because he's from South Carolina. But anyways, I digress. I apologize. We're going into it. Starting off, $9,500. The man who has said that Hilton Head Island is his favorite place in the world and Harbortown is his favorite course. He, as his driver cover, it's right. Like my driver cover, where it is the Harbortown Lighthouse every time he comes to play. Matthew Fitzpatrick. He loves this course. He plays amazing at this course. Tim knows because I tell him every year that Matthew Fitzpatrick loves it here. So I'm going with Matthew Fitzpatrick. My second guy, $9,000. Ooh, we almost had a mom and pop with $7,000 already. Jeez. We have Russell Henley. Russell Henley is 12 for 12 on cuts this year. Russell Henley has 2 top 10s. Russell Henley had a top 10 here last year. Loves this course as well. Going with him. Next up at $8,500, we have the man who finished and tied for second last year at this event. He is I think he is legitimately one of, if not the most well-liked guy on the PGA Tour right now, Harold Varner III. Awesome guy. Did win the Saudi Open and almost got banned from the PGA Tour for playing in the Saudi Open, but he got a pass this year, which was good. But Harold Varner III, big name, having a really good year. Hopefully it continues. Next up, $8,000. I've got Chris Kirk. Actually followed him for a couple holes today. Looks great. Very happy that I was able to see him play. Does very well at this tournament as well. Big Chris Kirk guy at this tournament. Next up, the up-and-comer who played very well here last year and has had a decent year so far. 2 top 10s, made 12 out of 13 cuts. Maverick McNeely, big name.
He is playing very well. Good pick, Brendan.
Thank you very
good pick.
And finally, the man who, even though he was not at the Masters, has caught the hearts of much of the PGA Tour after he's been playing fantastically the last couple weeks. Second place at the Players Championship. Anirban Lahiri, $7,100. Perfect plotter for a perfect plotting course.
Like it.
We've got a bunch of plotters here, boys.
Pot Town and Harbortown. Here we are.
The only thing that would make it better is if we had Webb Simpson, but he was like $10,500.
What?
Oh, Webb crushes it here, dude.
Yeah, I know, but not at that price.
Agreed.
In this economy?
Agreed. Brian, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll take a stab at it. I mean,
first event, let's do it.
First event, just
finally. Before you go, Brian, just so you know the rules, go top. Say everyone's price, top to bottom.
Great.
Also, the other rule is we have a pact, and you are welcome to get in on this pact. If one of us wins the top prize, they get everyone fitted for a set of clubs.
That's right. A fact. Yes.
Okay. Good to know.
They don't have to be like Miora's, but they have to be like full set, by the way, not just irons. It's everything.
All right.
So down to the putter.
I solemnly swear I will. I'm in on the pact.
I'm up to no good.
Yes, exactly. I mean, with this lineup, I'm up to no good. So I don't know if we're gonna get a fitting. Either we're gonna get a fitting for everybody, or it's not even gonna come close. So let's get into it. So at 11,100, I went with the top dog, most expensive player, Justin Thomas. I think he's. Is
this the first time? Timmy, this might be a Duffin Up First where we have had the top overall player in the field,
right?
Or not the top, but the most expensive player. Lord knows it's not on any of yours.
Yeah, no. God no.
Yeah, I know Tim's a mom and pop shop.
Mom and pop shop, baby.
Well, yeah, I got to be fully honest. I just finally was able to log into the daily fantasy portal. So this was a quick piece together, and I went with my gut. So Justin Thomas, number 1.
Big favorite to win here, though. Plays his game nice because he is a hybrid. I would say. Would you agree with that, both Brian and Tim? He is a hybrid bomber plotter.
Yeah. I mean, I love his iron game, wedge game, all the above. It's just that, he can do it all. Even keeled. I think I feel like he's in a good spot right now. Coming in number 2 at 10,200, Mr. Morikawa himself.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait to see
bombers. 2 big bombers here.
Not just 2 big bombers, just 2 of the most expensive guys in the tournament.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
What can I say?
Tim.
There we go.
Get ready.
I mean, obviously,
for the poorhouse.
Obviously, I mean, have you ever heard the saying, "You're only as good as your last shot"? I mean, what is Colin Morikawa? You're only as good as your last shot. So we
are going to the poorhouse, Tim. We are going to the poorhouse with these next picks.
No, we're going right to club champion for a club fitting after those 2 picks. All right, number 3. This one is my guy. He has been a topic of discussion all podcast long. We got Sung J M coming in 9,300. Mr. Steady Eddie, Mr. M. And now coming in at number 4, gonna go with the British Chris Adams, Tommy Fleetwood.
What's he at?
He is 8,200.
Dude, I don't think you followed the. I don't.
Is there any money left?
Oh yeah, I probably did the wrong one.
Did you not do
Keep going.
My last pick. I don't have a full roster. I only got 5 of them. And
you
then
have
my
to
last
do the full roster.
What's that?
You have to do the full roster.
I love that though. Wait, enter it without
It's okay.
a full
It's okay. Just go to 5. That's fine.
Number 5 is I'm new here. I don't go here. I went with Mr. Eric Van Rooyen. I love that guy.
He's very good. He's very good.
Big fan of him. He had a great tweet about if anyone was wondering when he landed in Augusta, like just joking off of when Tiger landed in Augusta. It was tweeted about all day. And Eric's like, I just landed in Augusta, if anybody is wondering. So I fell in love with his humor there, and he's got some good family times from the par 3 contest. So I'm all in on Mr. Van Rooyen. So, and my last spot is no one. So, because I don't even know if I did the right. I don't know
imagine that's like the secret. Can you do that?
You can't. You cannot submit a lineup unless you pick 6 people.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I've done it. It says nope.
All right, I'll move some funds around.
No, it's okay, Brian. That was fantastic. You do not have to move funds around. That was amazing. I'm so happy right now.
Me too. That was so good.
Our faces just on all of the numbers, just because we know it. Like my face dropped.
Yeah, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. That's literally
that's it. You're out of money, sir. I say good day.
Yeah.
All right, Tim. Can you top it?
Oh my God! I thought you were onto something, Brian. You could just leave it blank and then have the 5 be heavy hitters. Oh.
Yeah, with 3,000 left to spend, I'm pocketing that. 3,900. I'm pocketing that.
Oh,
right.
Boy.
That's incredible.
How funny would that be?
Oh, all right. I didn't even, when I was making my lineup, I did not even look at this price because I went right to the search and I chose Stuart Sink. I went right to him. I put him in my lineup.
Cheap,
7,200. Incredible.
Thought about it.
So cheap.
Yeah. So I have him first. I didn't even choose my most expensive first. I chose him first. Got to be loyal to Stuart Sink. Played well all last year in the beginning. Won this tournament. I mean, he'll at least make the cut. All right, next, $9,700.
Hole in one at the Masters, by the way, which we didn't talk about.
That's
but
true.
Amazing.
Is
his son on his cat? Is his son on his bag, or is it another caddy?
No, it was his son.
No, I'm
Do I
talking
get
about this week. If
Oh,
Reagan's
oh.
on the bag this week,
Oh,
he's a
that's-
pound. He is
oh,
a
that- yeah,
pound
that's-
pick.
That's a sway vote. Yeah, that
Mhm.
might.
It's exactly like
Yes.
Lee Westwood. When he has his son on the bag, you don't pick him. When he has his wife on the bag, you pick him every time.
10 times out of 10.
I think his son said that he is doing the whole season. This is his last season, though. He's not going on after
I think he
this.
said that last season, though. I just don't think he can give it up, man. I think he's a caddy for life now.
I like that. Might
I
not
love
be.
him.
The Elton John going away tour. He always says it's his last tour.
Same thing
Now
with
someone of them.
yeah, same thing with like Kiss does that all the time too. Going away. Nope, we're
Rolling
back.
Stones. Yep. The most expensive guy, Corey Connors, played well in this tournament last year. I remember that.
Very well. Very
Yes,
well.
I remember that last year. So I was like, he's playing well.
He is very much like, I know we talked about him in a second ago, but nowhere near as successful. Probably will never be as successful. He has a very similar game to Justin Thomas, where he is a hybrid of the plotter, the bomber plotter. Like he is like one of those hybrid guys.
Oh, that's good. I like that. I don't know what he. The next guy, 9,100, the guy who's going to be very confused as to why he doesn't have a crowd of people around him like he did last week. His name is Joaquin Neiman. He's at $9,100.
Jack Neiman, very good. Very good player.
Real short fella.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a little tiny. I saw him today on the practice greens. He's very skinny. Very skinny.
Now. Pat him on the head.
The best bunker player I've ever seen. And if he can keep up with the Tiger effect and play well in that, I mean, he can play well anywhere. That's incredible. Next, we got $9,000. Brendan, I'm right there with you. Russell Henley, 12 out of 12. He is a cut machine, just like you said. $7,600 is Mr. Hoagie, Tommy Hoagie.
He's been very, very good this year. He's been a machine.
3 top 10s. And last but not least, I picked him because I wish I picked him last week. He played well. Not last week, the Valero week. He played very well, and it's Brendan's guy. I wouldn't have known about him if it wasn't for you. Dylan Fratelli.
Fratelli is good. He's good. He's South African, but if you notice, they put the Texas flag on him on the Texas Open because he went to UT and he lives there now. He's a very, very good player if he's on. If he's off, he's the first one cut. But if he is on, played great at the Masters, played great. Or no, he didn't play at the Masters this year. Played good. I think at the 2021 Masters, he played really well.
Yes.
He's got the specs.
He's a really good player. He's very, very underrated, I think.
Putts with the pin in all the time. That is
Him and Matthew Fitzpatrick. I hope they're together because that pin will never come out.
Pace of play. No pool noodle in there. No mid rules.
Oh, love it.
You'll be happy to know there's $0 remaining in my bank.
No mom and pop. Once I heard the 9,700, I'm like, Tim's back on the dark side. He's officially back on the dark side.
Big bombers.
I make you spend money. My bad influence.
That was incredible. That was the best lineup we've ever had.
Damn.
Our faces were just.
I was wondering why you guys were laughing. You guys I said something and you guys just lost it. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Am I bleeding from the face? What's happening?
No, as soon as you said 11,000, we're like, great. And then you said 10,000. I was immediately just like, to the poorhouse we go. To the poorhouse.
And after that, he said 9,000. I said,
and then I'm like, this can't be real.
No, I kid you not. I got 11,000, 10,000, 9,000, 8,000, 7,000, and then 0.
And 3,000 left over.
Money left to spare. Money
to
left
buy the crumbs. To buy the amateur who's playing this week.
I'll figure it out. Who invited this guy?
I love that. Brian,
unreal.
That's fantastic.
That was a great laugh, Brian. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Glad to provide entertainment.
Oh man. But yes, we will be boots on the ground here. If it was not Easter weekend, I may have been able to, well, if it was not Easter weekend and if Michael was around, I would have pushed for the Duffin Up boys all here, but we got family stuff to celebrate during Easter week too. So maybe next year when we're all back, that way everyone can truly live the RBC Heritage life and Tim can finally understand what he's been missing.
I look forward to it.
Yep.
Oh,
I can't believe you're down there. Brendan.
As always, Duff Daddies, Duff Mamas, we finish off with a call for poll. My favorite segment. Tim, what we got this week?
All right. So these have nothing to do with your golf swing. I'm going to give you two of them because I got an idea for a continuing golfer poll. So I got two situations. Which one is worse? And then next week, I'll give you another scenario, compare it up to the winner this week compared to you guys. And then we'll see as it goes down. And then, so it's almost like a bracket. So whatever one moves on next week, we'll bring it into the next week and I'll give you another scenario. So it's like an ongoing golfer poll. So which one is worse? You get to the next tee box and you realize you forgot your wedge on the previous hole. Or when you're kicking the sand off your shoe and you accidentally hit your ankle.
Oh, it's like the shopping cart to the back of the ankle also. That's equally as bad. Oh, that's tough.
Brian, do you want to take this bad boy?
No, you seem like you got something. I'm still caught up on the pain in my mind. You go for it.
I'm going hitting in the ankle because like if you forget your wedge, you just go back sooner or later and you're like, crap. Sorry guys. Like that hurts. Like that really hurt.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. I think I'm gonna go with the pain, but I think I'm gonna also go with hitting in the ankle because I've done that time and time again, and it can linger for a couple holes. It can really stick with you. And I mean, the equivalent of me leaving my wedge on the previous hole is when someone in your group does as well. Like it leaves on a previous hole and you lose steam and momentum. But yeah, that's tough. I mean, that's tough. I just off of my initial reaction to you listing as an option, I have to go with the pain because I felt that immediately.
It's going to be a tough one to beat, but I got a whole list written down. So next week we'll have to take it and see what can take on the hitting of the ankle. So that one moves on. Hitting of the ankle after you're hitting the sand.
Excellent. Well, boys, first of all, big round of applause for our guy, Brian.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having me. This is
coming awesome. In very late notice, not late notice, but coming in late notice, doing a great job filling in. Gave some fantastic opinions. Gave the best daily fantasy lineup we've had yet, and gave Tim and I a great laugh. So that's all that matters. Now you know for next time, got to do 6 golfers.
I will use my money wisely. I'll try at least. Can't promise anything.
Oh man, unreal. But as always, everyone, we really appreciate you for listening. You can follow us all on Duffin Up for TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. You can click the little link tree in our bio right there. We'd really appreciate it. Everyone giving us a follow, giving us likes. You know, we do this for fun. Maybe one day, but we're nowhere near there yet. Maybe one day we'll make it into something even more. But right now we're just doing it for the laughs and doing it for the good of the game. We're like Francis we met back in 1911 when he won the U.S. Open. We're amateurs, as they would say.
Amateurs. Everybody play better. RBC Brendan's 5th major this weekend. Let's go Dylan Fratelli. Come on, Dave.
Hashtag my 5th major. Let's get that trending. Hashtag my 5th major. Everyone get out there, duff it up. Let's go.